said came true. Everything we've done's been right.
We are back live, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to go to your phone calls. And in the next hour, I'm going to break down what this Barack Obama administration is really going to mean. Get more into this big stunt inauguration, how it's meant to suck the public into believing in the system, to psychologically, mentally, intellectually invest in Obama. But he's going to be the change, because Congress still has a 9% approval rating. And you know, it was Rahm Emanuel, his new chief of staff, that engineered the big Democratic win in 2006. And when they got in, did they end the war? They expanded it. And Obama's saying he's going to expand the military even larger than it is now and have it domestically on the streets. So people say, well, that's George Bush getting ready to put the troops on the streets of America. George Bush is a puppet, and so is Obama. They're going to do whatever the bankers tell them, whatever the shadow government that's now not so shadow tells them. So we're going to go over all of that coming up, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to get your take, less than 48 hours out from the big inauguration coming up Tuesday morning, the 20th of January, on where you see things going. And are there any Obama zombies around you? You know, I'm trying to convince people that Republicans are controlled by foreign financial interest, a foreign corporate takeover. That's all the New World Order is a corporation setting up global government and taxing us and regulating us with a sickening carbon tax on every facet of life. From your toilet to your light bulbs to your water to your cows and sheep. You say, I don't have cows and sheep and chickens. Why do I care if there's a carbon tax on them? Well, that's going to be passed on to you. And it's the regulators, the control, the taxation, the bureaucracy, all of it. So right now, let's go to your phone calls. Let's talk to Logan in Missouri. Logan, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex. What's up?
On the air worldwide, sir. How may I serve you?
I'm just going to tell you that Jason Burmis did a great job while you were away, and Bob Dacey, when he was in that day, was hilarious. Great show. Another thing I'd like to say is it's really scary seeing a lot of Obama zombies in Missouri. It's very scary. Even my brothers and my brother's girlfriend, who are really aware of how bad Bush was, are all completely brainwashed by it all.
Well, here's an example. I'm watching CNN right now, and they're running an ad, and it's this ad where this military guy is walking around in empty streets in New York City, and then everybody walks up and shakes his hand. It's about peer pressure. You've got to support whatever the military's doing, and the subconscious message is military on the streets. And then the Pentagon came out yesterday and said, of course we're engaged in domestic propaganda. The point is it's just getting sickening. And all over the country, I'm confirming reports that the schools are openly teaching small children, your parents smoke cigarettes. Well, they're drug addicts. Report on them. And even if you think your parents might be on drugs but have no proof, report on them. This is Eastern Germany. This is Russia. This isn't liberty. This isn't freedom. This is disgusting. The culture of liberty is being destroyed. We have to stand up. Go ahead.
Did you see the Colbert Report where they were actually talking about compulsory service? It was crazy.
Yeah, and he's making jokes. See, they're making jokes like it's fun and it's funny. Compulsory service is good.
Yeah, it's horrifying. I mean, I'm sitting here watching this, and my mom, like, even, because she's actually aware, she pulled me in there while it was on, and I was like, oh, my God, I can't believe this is on the Colbert Report, when that's usually just a funny show.
That's why they're destroying the economy on purpose, so you don't have a choice, so you've got to, quote, forced service, but you will be paid. See, they destroy the economy, then make you work for the government. That's what, and then the government gives those profits to private corporations. That's why they're setting up the carbon taxes, to pay the trillions of dollars in interest to the banks that the money was given to.
Exactly, and the last thing I wanted to ask is if you had a good vacation.
You know, I hardly watch a lot of TV when I'm not in town. And when I'm in town or out of town, I kind of watch the aggregated clips and boil downs on the web, on YouTube and Google and other places. But when I'm on vacation, I tend to watch more TV at night, and I watched a lot of it, and it was just sickening. The fawning, controlled corporate media, every channel worshiping Obama, getting all the slaves hyped up that he'll fix it, he'll save it. All you've got to do is do what he says. Just shut up, do what he says, and he'll fix it. But if you don't do what he says, it's your fault the economy fell apart. It's your fault all this happened because you didn't shut up and be a slave. Oh, my gosh, you're a racist, too. Tom in Pennsylvania.
Hey, Alex, what's going on?
Nothing much, bro.
Hey, have you heard anything about this Tim Soretto guy? Apparently, Obama died in, like, April of 2002, and a Kenyan named Tim Soretto is taking Obama's place.
You know, I know that his one of his cousins of Dinga ran for office, and Obama, from his Senate website, email told him how to stage riots and how to overthrow the government or how to force a takeover of the government, but I don't know about this other stuff, no.
Yeah, that's just what I've heard. I really haven't seen any real proof on it. I was just wondering if you...
Well, there's a lot of baloney going on out there instead of all the real things we know.
Yeah. I figured it was just disinformation. Oh, yeah, and one suggestion about the website. Here's the deal. Every time I go to try to find something, I typically go to Infowars.com first because it's the most well-known name in the truth movement. But the thing is, I can't find any real archived information. Like, the other day I wanted to know what the Club of Rome was, so I went there, and I couldn't find any real archives on it without having to watch the videos, and I don't have any money for Prison Planet TV right now, you know? So,
well, sir, that's how you're searching, okay? I mean, I can go... We have links on the website to search engines, okay? And I'm not saying the websites are perfect. We're trying to make them better. But what you do is you go to a search engine, and then you type in the terms you're looking for, and then you put Infowars.com at the end of that, and then the search engine will search the site. We put up probably 50, 60 articles, sometimes 100 articles on PrisonPlanet.com alone, on Infowars.com alone. And a lot of times some of the same news, but a lot of it's different. And so I'm trying to hire more people and things right now, but that takes money to have people put it in specific archives. Like if you go to PrisonPlanet.com, you know what, you're just not looking. If you go to PrisonPlanet.com, there's a key section, like 30, 40 links down there at the bottom to key archive sections. And so I really can't help you. I appreciate your call. Okay, let's go to Scott in San Diego. Scott, you're on the air.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for taking my call. First of all, about Obama, I think he's going to be worse than Bush. I think he's going to have, doctors and all types of businesses spying on us. More so, and he's going to get...
Oh, no, he said that. Look, farms, ranches, industry, medical systems, everything federalized. Look, the Homeland Security Patriot Act compliance, when you buy a car, when you rent a car, when you get a hotel, when you fly, when you get on a bus, when you do anything, it's under Patriot Act compliance, nothing to do with terror. And now farming, ranching, doctors, it's all under the federal government, which is really an international government control.
And he's going to do all of this under left cover, so people who were complaining with Bush and his wiretapping and spying and so forth, Obama's going to get away with it because people are going to say,
and then 4 to 8 years later, they'll put a Republican in, and they'll tell you they're the savior, and then all the conservatives that were mad about what Obama was doing, they suddenly won't see it and go, well, my gosh, it's a Republican, it's got to be great, and then they'll all get behind it. And the same thing happens over and over again until people see past the 2-year-old illusion, that a 2-year-old's be able to see through, just the elementary illusion that they own both interests and they use slick corporate packaging to program people.
This last week, a good friend of mine took his 6-year-old son into a pediatrician, and the nurse came in and was asking questions, medical questions about the son, and it was just a routine checkup. And in the list of these questions, the nurse asked, do you have any guns in the household? And my friend is a patriot from Atlanta, Georgia, and he listens to your show all the time and visits Infowars.com. And he was really taken back by this,
Well, let me tell you what happens now. You see, the guns aren't illegal, but they'll try to CPS your children. Off that question, then they go to the toddler in the other room and say, do you ever see Daddy's gun? And then that alone is enough to sick CPS on you. It's just a lawless... That's the issue. I can't describe to listeners how bad the tyranny already is, and the public has no idea. Go ahead.
What would be the appropriate answer for a patriot to say when you're asked that question? He just said he didn't feel that was appropriate, and he didn't answer it. But where does that data go?
Well, again, all of it goes into federal databases. That's what all of this... Sir, all over the country, in Austin, they have TV ads. It's in my film Road to Tyranny, telling the children that they give them $200 credit cards with $200 on them to talk about what's in their parents' medicine cabinet. All over the country, in the 6th and 7th grade, they have a semester-long course with a BATF registered teacher having them write dossiers on their parents. Folks, it's so far gone. I appreciate your call. And to the earlier caller, I don't know what you're talking about. All my films are free on Google and YouTube to say you can't pay PrisonPlanet.tv to say watch Endgame. We had a caller earlier. Then I'm going to go back to your other calls and get more into the news on this live 18th of January 2009 edition. It was like, when I go to Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, I can't find these articles about the Club of Rome. Well, let me just go through a few points here. I'm not mad at you. I'm glad you're asking how to get the info. It's just frustrating. Back when I made America Destroyed by Design in 1996-97, took me a year and a half to make the film, I showed the executive order. I showed, in just one section of the film, I had to go to the library. I had to pay an archivist in Kentucky to go to one of the state libraries where the state had passed a law against the United Nations takeover of the national parks. And then I went to the national parks and would show the UN sign saying it was under UN control. And I would show how under UNESCO, the United Nations Educational and Cultural Organization, how it was pledged as collateral under the national debt. And I put that in the film.